Let us begin with chapter number 3. In this chapter, we are going to deal with this certain topic called as money and credit. So, what exactly we are going to be discussing in this such a section is what is money exactly and the main function of money, and what does credit exactly mean, that we are going to see in this chapter. Also, I will be discussing with you all this table of content, which will further elaborate as to what are we going to be seeing in this chapter. So let's start with this chapter. So this is the table of content. Firstly, we will be seeing how money acts as a medium of exchange, meaning only if you give money is when you're going to get a kind of good or service in return. So it is an exchange process that is happening. So how money exactly facilitates this kind of exchange process, that we are going to be discussing in this chapter. Then we see the modern forms of money. So we also see the kinds of money that was there in the ancient times, such as copper coins, gold coins, etc., by the Mughals and etc. So then after that we see the modern forms of money. So how exactly is money kept in current times? In the forms of note, and then you also have it in the forms of coins and check payments and deposits. Then we see the loan activities of banks. Like you all know, there are many banks in India. So what is the main functioning of bank? The main functioning of bank is that it accepts some kind of money, that is called deposits from the people, and it gives out certain uh, it gives out a certain share of those deposits that is given by the people to the other poor people, especially who are in need of loans. Not just specific to poor people, but anyone who requires a loan can take a loan from the bank, right? So we are going to see this kind of a functioning such a way that it will totally tell what is the kind of working of banks. Then we see two different credit situations with the help of case studies. So there are two case studies which are discussed in the slides. Then we see this certain new term which is also called as terms of credit. So this term will help us, that is you and me, in getting a loan or putting up a deposit in a bank. After we've covered this, we will be seeing something called as loans from cooperatives. So what exactly are cooperatives? They are certain bodies that are formed when many people come together to start a kind of a project, right? So that's what exactly is. And then we see two different sectors in India when it comes out to giving money. First, you have the formal sector in India, which contains things like cooperatives and banks. So in the formal sector, you have the cooperatives giving out money, you have the banks giving out the money to the people in need or accepting in the form of deposits. In the informal sector, you have, for example, people like money lenders who give out who are non-institutionalized people, institutionalized bodies who give out money to the poor with a high rate of interest, as you have seen in the previous classes. After that, we see something called self-help groups. So what exactly are self-help groups? We are going to discuss. We are going to see the advantages of self-help groups, and also we are going to see the case study of a major self-help group, a kind of a bank that was formed in this methodology, also called as Grameen Bank of Bangladesh, which is proved to be a role model to a majority of banks in the world. So once we are done with the whole content, we will be discussing the exercises in MCQs, and let us evaluate as to where we stand in this chapter.